Welcome to another amazing day at fmtraining.tv. My name is Margaret. I'm here with the fantastic Nick Hunter to discuss the wonderful FileMaker platform. So today we're going to finish up Nick's 3-day discussion on selectable records, which has really been fun and very interesting. So we're excited for that. Real quick reminder that we stream on 3 platforms. We stream on Discord, we stream on YouTube, we stream on Twitch. Actually, we also stream on Zoom now. So if you would like a Zoom link, let me know. I can dispense it. It'll be the same link going forward. So if you have saved that link somewhere, just click it every day at 1 p.m. and I'll be running out of Zoom. Zoom is a better record, but I also don't mind having it. People pop in and chat and ask us questions there if that works better for you all. With that being said, let's talk about the future live training schedule. So Monday actually Monday currently isn't on here, but Monday is going to be another Nick day. He's going to do a one-off session, which will be really fun. Friday is going to be Christian Schmitz with what's new for the FileMaker MBS plugin. 12.3, I think, is the number he's on right now. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday is going to be the beginning of How to Build a Bot for FileMaker series with Nick, which he's going to do over the next 4 weeks, and that's going to be really awesome. I think we're all interested in seeing that. And then Friday is going to be an open FileMaker server Q&A with Jacob Taylor. So if you have server questions or your server is, dying quietly in a corner or, anything else you'd like to know about FileMaker server, let us know. Jacob and I will sit there and talk our way through it. Or rather, I'm not going to sit there and talk my way through anything server related, but I'll ask your questions to him for you. With that being said, a real quick reminder, if you would like to support the channel, we do have our FM Training annual subscription, which basically it's 100+ hours of video content. It covers pretty much everything if you want to become an intermediate FileMaker, about intermediate level FileMaker developer. And we have all sorts of fantastic presenters. We have Nick, we have Richard, we have Jacob, we have Calvin, all people you recognize from our live streams. It helps support the live stream and you get a crap ton of content out of it. So I highly recommend. With that being said and my opening spiel done, Nick, what are we doing today?
Today we're doing thank you for the great presentation as always. So today we do the 3rd day of the date picker, this feature that, taking multiple of the techniques we talk about and move together, shake, like this, shake, and then we get something new, right? So, and most of the time we try to give to FileMaker feature that it's not out of the box, right? And it's pretty much the proper offer, a coding platform, right? It's a low code platform, but it's a code platform, okay? So it's low code, but it's code, okay? So that means we can get things great out of the platform. So something else I want to say. Sometime, I'm looking other solution from other platforms and talk about the topic, because I was talking about this topic this morning. Somebody that wants to leave FileMaker to go to another platform, and I told him, and he said, yeah, okay, that what he has today. He said, oh, I can do that today, but I cannot do in the new platform. I'm doing that today, but I cannot do that in the new platform. Or I do that today, but I cannot do that in the new platform. And after 30 minutes, I said, why do you want to leave? And at the end, he was so confused. He said, you know what, I'm not leaving. So, and that's why we have a contract now with them, because I said, look, just what you need help. It's not that you need to go to the, because, the grass is always greener, at the neighbor, right? So, but it's not the case. So FileMaker is a great platform. It's a great tool. Just what you need is help. And that's why we're here, No, seriously, what we do here is just helping the people. And then we can connect the people, to their get connected people, the right people with the right customer, right? And so I'm talking about this customer because I have another customer of mine, and I was very, very, very surprised. He said, okay, I want your advice. I want your, he want to put a straw in my head and suck out all my brain, right? And that's what he wants to do is, and I say, okay, no problem. We have coaching, right? And he said, I'm offering $300 an hour. And I say, whoa, no, it's not necessary to offer that much. And my price is not this. He said, no, because that's what I value you. So that being said, it's that we provide the best we can on the platform, and we work a lot on this. And so I want to. I'm talking about Jacob Taylor and Christian and Jacob and Ryan and all the people and especially Richard, that is investing like pretty much 90% of his time on doing platform thinking. And you guys doesn't know, but we have a talk with Richard sometime until like 1 a.m. At night, discussing the topic, discussing things. About, right? So you saw the message going on, and so we are very grateful that you come here, right? And we always provide the best that we can, So here we provide the best. So, and I hope you agree, and if you there is that you agree. What we do, you remember we're talking about the date selector, so we have labels. We switch that into tasks, and we want the task to reflect exactly the days that we work, not just a time frame. We want the time frame, but we don't want that to be, from, like I said, this is 15 days a week, but 15 days a time frame, but it's only 4 days a week. So that's what what we want to do. And to create this calendaring thing here, we have this system here. So yesterday, I was showing you that you can have, you can select the days, and you can unselect the day here of the week and remove from the list here the days of the week. And then when you get that list, which are records, right, you can select and unselect from that list. So you can have multiple, you have a very large, what's the name, selection here. First, you select your time frame, then you can unselect the day, and then you can unselect the day of week, and then you can unselect dates, okay? So select, and then you create your dates out of this. So the proper of FileMaker and the proper of a good developer is to know when to use the best of what FileMaker can offer at the right time. This is always the challenge, especially with FileMaker. It's a challenge to know where and when and what to use, okay? Because sometimes your instinct will tell you to use a script, but it's not the best way. The best way will have to use a calculation instead, or your instinct will have said, oh, let's use a calculation when it will have just be best doing a script. So always is difficult to know when to use fields, when to use variable, when to use records, when to use values. Okay. So here my advice on this. You notice this here. I'm going to do here in that particular what's the name section here. We do a lot of manipulation. We select something. So here is where the data are moving. So we do a lot of manipulation here, and we do a lot of manipulation here. That moves data, that interacts with the results directly. So you want this to happen in memory. You want this to happen in a global field or variable. In that case, I prefer global field, but could be a variable as well. It's just a preference. It's like a color, right? So, and then when you have done your manipulation, you want to put down your results. So what you do, you put down on records. So you create, so here, that's why I have, it's calendar days. So it should be see something. Calde. Okay. So I have a little table here. And you can see this table has very few things, right? These things are very few things, the minimum, because this is just when I'm done manipulating the data here, I'm putting down things here. I'm creating records, plum, right? There. So demonstration. So I'm going to open the calendar day. I'm opening this. So see this one. So I'm going to put that on the side, and I'm going to edit this. Okay. So this, see, boom, it changes. Because when I enter, I change this. So if I change this, I said I want to the 5th, it will just do this, boom, So this is the calendar here. So let's ignore this. So let's do this. Delete all, because they are a relic from the past. So this is what I want. So I have this. So if I create more, I will have more, right? So as I create things, this here, right? I do, and I change this, So here I will have less. Boom, right? So, and always, so here. So this, when I create this, I'm putting down, boom, So how I'm doing this, it's very simple. I'm using a P source, of course, because otherwise it's too slow, right? So if I do this, this is what I'm doing. So I'm going to do the 3592. So I'm going to show you how to, I have a function for that, but you can debug a P source easily. Remember, I told you that technique here. You create a new window in the context that the P source is going to land. Okay, here is a cal day. You perform the script normally, not on server, and then you close the window. This will simulate that you are on server, right? This will simulate you on server. So you can debug a P source doing that way, right? So let's debug what now is no longer a P source, right? But it will be. But now I can debug it. So I'm doing this. So now I'm opening a window. So I'm going there, right? And I perform the script. So I'm sending a bunch of variable there, okay? A parameter. First of all, the calendar, the project calendar I'm in. This is the ID of that record here, because I need to retrieve my babies. Okay. So now I have the current days, and then I have the value count. Remember, I told you yesterday, I'm sending flat information, right? To send parameters, so you can watch the video from yesterday. And I'm explaining you how to do that. So now I have those global, local variable here, right? So I have the value count, because I need to know the value count, because I need to stop the loop. So that we stop the loop. I have the calendar ID, right? I have the current days. So this is what this calculation is returning to me. Okay. No. This is the days I have. Sorry. This is the days I have. No. Yeah. This is the new days, 7 to the 17. No. This is the day I have. Sorry. The day I have, and this is the new days. Yeah. So this is the new days. This is the current days. Is the new days. That's what this is sending me from the 4th to the 17th. Okay, ignoring the okay. So yeah, these the current days is what I already have in that field. In that task here, I have those, right? Already. I need to know that in order to what's the name? Unselect the thing, because I'm going to show you something cool here. So I have the current days, so that the 4 days I have. This is the calendar days, the new one from that day to that day. And now I'm perform this, because what I want to do, I don't want to deal with what I already have. I want to delete everything. I delete everything. I don't want to update, because you will change something. You change the date, the date. You don't want to keep records, updates, and add the record missing. No, you destroy everything, and you restart everything, right? Because it's just showing a list of dates, right? That's all. So you delete all and you create new. So what here? I have a loop, very simple. So you know this technique now. If you follow me, I'm using that pretty much every day. Set the counter, so counter +1. Set the variable. It's from the dates, from set the variable date. This is the value, the get value of the calendar days, right? The counter. So now that I have a value, remember, I have a value here. The value is calendar days. This is my value, list of values. Now that I have here, and I say get value, my list, and the number is the counter. Is the counter? Oh, I didn't have the counter yet. So let's create the counter. Let's create the counter. So now the counter, we say 1. Okay, the counter says 1. So if I go to my data viewer here, this is my first day of the list. Remember, right? So I have a list here, calendar days. I have a list here, right? And so the first day is the 4th, right? Because counter returns 1, okay? And it will continue. So now I'm going to create a record. Boom, shoop. And I have the day, date, and date, because I have here, I have an auto entry calculation with the name of the day. I continue. And I say the second, get the second one, right? So the second one, it was the 5, the 5th, right? Etc., etc. And automatically it will say, okay, the value count is 9 because I had 9 values from the original. So when the counter reached 9, so I'm free. When the counter will reach 9, it will stop it. Otherwise, you have what we call a wild script. And then you need to make sure you have your on Pisos. If that happens, if you forget this, you do like I did once. In like 3 days, he created 256 million records and crashed the server. So it happened to the best. Okay, I didn't realize it. 3 days he was creating records. So, and he crashed the server, crashed the file. Because when you do that, he crashed the file. The file is damaged, permanently damaged. Couldn't even open it. So, so here, okay, so I'm going to, is 8. So now I'm going to be the 9th, and it goes away. You stop it. I close it, and now I have my list. So far, it's a very simple technique here, right? It's a very simple technique. So I create my list. This list is just a support in order to say, hey, by the way, okay, I want to select this one. Why? Because you notice something here is that when I select here, I set a variable, the new calendar IDs, and it's all the IDs from that list. I put that in a global variable, and then I'm pointing those buttons to that variable. So that means I'm saying if in the list, right, in the list, I have those in this list, show the green. Let me show you. I have a variable here. I'm not doing for the selection and selection. Never. Okay, that okay. Hold on. Stop. You stop everything you do, and you listen carefully. When you have a selection and selection like this, you never ever use a field to do that. You never set field. Never ever, never ever. Why? Because if you do, somebody else will see what you see, what you do. You know, because it's a field. So you will modify a field that will be shown by everybody. This variable here, you know, at the contrary, this variable here, the current calendar ID, this is a list of, right, of those, right? The list of all of those IDs. You can count the lines, they're the same. 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 9 because I have my counter here. So now that I have this list, I have this that says, hide this. What this says, if it's not in this, if the ID is not in this list, don't show it. I mean, hide it, right? It's easy. So you cannot say equal because it's a list. You say pattern count. And because I'm using UUID, the pattern count will work all the time because it's a UUID. So I'm showing, and then I have a very, very, very simple script. So look this variable here. Look this variable here. We're seeing this variable here. Current calendar ID. Okay, this variable. Look this one. It starts with 6DE. Okay, the first one. If I unselect it, okay, unselected. Oh, no. We should be refreshing it. But now you will see here. There's much less. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 selected. 6 selected. Now I'm removing this one. So now I have even less. I have 2 left. 2. So what this? So I have a. I'm explaining this in many videos. How you select this. So now you understand what I've done. First, I put 2 globals to get a time frame. When I take the time frame here, I use while to create a list of value of dates, eliminating the day of week that is not checked here. When I have this list of value, I have a script that says go to the dedicated table, create the record for me. When you have the records, when you have on the table, you have the record on the table. I have another list of value created out of this list, a new list of value that named new calendar IDs. And then I have a script on the button that's remove or add, right? Remove or add the ID from that list. Now I have a new list out of this. And this new list here, the new calendar ID, I'm going to use it to generate the dates in the table of my demonstration. And do this. Stuck. I have my 4 days. Right. So do we have questions?
We got one from David Angel real fast, and select list is a temp table before created on tasks? ?
So sorry, you got cut off a little bit, so I didn't.
Oh no, you're good. I'll repeat it.
Yes.
Select list is a temp table before created on tasks.
Yes. So this is a temp table. This is a table with 3 fields. And it's a temporary table here. But I'm using this because I want to do something cool. So sorry, imagine you don't have a pisos. This is what you have. You remember I always want to do the thing cool. I don't want to be able to add 2 dates, two days with the same date. So I cannot put in this. So it's funny because 3 days ago, a friend of mine told me, oh, Nick, when I have nothing in the first field, I want the result of the calculation to be 0. Otherwise, because he had 2 fields, field A, field B, right? He said, if somebody filled only the field B and not filling the field A, then the result is negative, and I want the result to be 0. I said, why you want to complicate your life that much? If you don't want something to happen, don't let it happen. Period. Don't let it happen. If you don't want something to happen, don't let it happen. So instead of taking care of that case scenario, if the field A is empty, then 0, otherwise, whoa. No. Put a hidden state on field B. If the field A is empty, you cannot put anything on field B. Period. Don't let something happening if you don't want that to happen. So this is always what you need to keep in mind. Now, you give me the great opportunity to tell you something. Look, I'm repeating myself, but I'm not repeating myself enough. Okay. So, but it's okay. In the computer field, in the computer realm, software, it's not, forget FileMaker. Software, Java, C++, whatever. What suits you? You want to do something. You need a freaking, and I will say a bleeping support demonstration. Here, I want to do things. I want to act. I want to have actions. I want to interact with data. I want to create things. I want to update things. I want to modify things. I want to do things. To do so, I need a stand. I need a support to put down my stuff. I cannot do that with 2 globals and triggers. And no, you need a support. You need to get out, right? And you need to put down all the ingredients on the counter of your kitchen, because you cannot put everything on the stove, right? You cannot put everything on the stove. You need to have a counter, right? On the kitchen. That's the same here. I have a countertop. This is it, right? And I can put my stuff there. I put my stuff there. Now, I told you, I don't want the possibility to have twice the same date, right? You understand? I don't. So if I put here, I put the 13, the 12, for example. Here what happened? I need to reconnect the pieces, otherwise you see what happened. No pieces, right? Oof. Okay, bam. I know that Wednesdays is done. I cannot put Wednesday. Wednesday is there. This one is there. This one's there. This one there, right? And those are there. You remember those are the 4 that created there? You see how cool this is? And how freaking easy it is to do? You know why it's easy? Because I have my freaking support, and I'm using freaking because I don't want to be, but I have my bleeping support, without the support, forget about it. And without without the temporary table, forget about this. And without putting down this list in a record, because I need the record, I need the table, and I need the fields to help me doing what I want to do. And what do I want to do? I want to do this. I have, you remember, my tag, my Boolean stuff, the Boolean Boolean videos.
Yes, I'll grab
Okay,
those.
so, okay, Boolean. This is my Boolean. And I said, the current day is this. That the list of days. This is my list, my current one. Remember when I said I need the current one? I'm a list of the current days. So this is the list I have already set up in that, those are those here on the background, right? And then I said, this is a date. This is the date field. And I said, if pattern counts my current days, I have the dates, then tell me, yes, no. This will take pattern count this, yes, no, 1, 0, 1, 0. So now here, right, I have this tag duplicates that tells me 1, 0, 1, 0. That's it. That's all what I need to know. 1, 0. And no relationship, no freaking relationship. Go to that table with that ID, go to the other table and do a lookup. If the date already, complication. Why you want to complicate yourself? Your script, because I have a support, because I have this freaking support, the bleeping support and the F support, because I have it, because I have this environment, this silo, this my little tiny workshop stuff, right? I can do what I want because I have my own list. This is my own, this is mine, this is mine, this is all mine, okay? Another guy will have his own list, but this is my list, okay? Based on the current situation, I get what's the name? I get a variable, and I say, okay, this is the list of IDs I have, right? So, and then I have a tag that says, by the way, if that field is part of that list, make one, put one, tell me yes, no. This is yes, no, Boolean, okay? So now look, it's finger in the nose. It's so easy to get this done. 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So now that I have this list, this really nice list, really nice list, what do? I open this, so let's close this. I open my 401B and I just play a little bit. I love playing with this, show you. I have my nice icon here. I have my group. I open my group and I have this one, right? So I can show, because I hide this button, I have the entire group hide, right? If I have the tag, if not the tag, hide it. So you hide this, what's the name? Do not cross stuff. I have it just saying tag duplicate. That's it. 1, 0, show, not show, right? It's hide, not hide, right? So this is how simple it is, right? To do this, right? Of course, the other one is the opposite. So what is the other one? This is the one you cannot select, and this is the one you can select. This one you cannot select, this one you can select. So here you have a button where you can select and select, add calendar days. And on this one here, you have nothing, do nothing, because I don't want to be able to select that day. So I'm hiding the button. So that's it. That's it. I don't want to be able to select that day if that day is already on that list, right? So I don't let it happen, period. You understand the concept here, right? That's all. So if I have my list here, I need to reconnect the pieces, by the way. That's the first time I'm saying that. So here, and of course, because you know me, I like to get a great visual. Oh, I'm putting italic and grayed out. That means, okay, forget about it, right? But that's cool. That's cool, because imagine you there or there, and you have already 2 days here, okay? You have to, let's say you have those days, right? And you want to say, okay, oh, by the way, you know what? We need to fill up this. We need to fill up. See, no pesos. How? Okay, we need to fill up this. So, and we need to fill up from the 13th, right? From the 13th to no pesos, and it's incredible how slow it is. Let's reconnect the pesos. Okay. Let's say I want to say, you know, not from the 25th of August, for the 25th of here, for the 21. And I said, okay, we need to fill up those days, but without the days that already there. Okay. So I don't want the days already filled up. What the day here? Hold on, I forgot. From the 14th to the 28th. Okay. So let's say you say, okay, we want to fill up, okay, from the 13th to the 30th, but you don't want to fill up the days already there. I do that for you. I'm not adding those 2 days in the list, and you can select it. So you say, okay, do it for me. We are create. Okay, no problem. You won't create a duplicate. Okay, you won't create a duplicate. So that is said yesterday because it's not going. Normally, it cannot happen. You know this. You know because you said yesterday here. So so he said past here. Yeah. So yesterday. But anyway, normally you should have said this, you know, done at the end, checkbox. So
Ruben is curious why you're using so many bold fonts in the select list layout. That's more of a UI question, not a
why I'm using bold.
Yeah.
What do you mean bold?
Bold fonts. I guess he's curious about your font choice.
I don't have any bold fonts. None of them is bold. I never use bold. This is design recommendation. I mean, design guidelines. You never use bold, and you never use what's the name? You never use bold, and you never use italic in your UI unless you have a purpose. And I never ever use italic unless you have a purpose. Because italic, it's the function, it's not an expression. So that will be part of, by the way, August's webinars. Function, expression, okay. I have a function here. My function is this. If I do this, italic means no, not available.
Yes.
Okay, so it's a standard, you saw that many times. You saw that many times. It's not available. Italic, grayed out and italic is, forget about it. It's a standard. It's something that's there since 35 years, since Macintosh invented their graphical, since Xerox invented the graphical interface. So we don't do that. So, but otherwise, I never use a different font than regular or plain. Okay, so if we don't have any questions, let's follow up. So I want to show you, we have 15 minutes or 20 minutes here to show up the last sprint. When I get that list, so let's take something with less record here. Okay, I have this. That's good. So when I have that list done, and I press that button, say, okay, yes. So I've done all of this, And remember, I'm telling you that you have 4 days here. You have 4 days. So you have an option. You have an option. You say, okay, forget about, you can say, start from now, and let's do like 1 week. Okay, let's do 1 week. Okay, you can say, yes, the 4 days you have here, forget about that. Don't replace the 4 days pending. Add those on top of the 4 days. Leave the 4 days alone, and add them. Add them at the 4 days. Boom. So I keep my 4 days, right? and I'm adding my list, right? Then you have the other option that says I have 4 days here, but it's okay, look, that's good, but I want to replace that 4 days. So, but I have 5 days here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 5 days. So I have a bug here, I think. So I have 5 days here. So what will happen? I will replace the 4 days that are pending, and I'm adding a new one. So how I'm doing this, and I'm not going to destroy anything because, I could have put a name here, right? I could have put something. So let me show you how it's done. So when you do this, and so let's deactivate the P source because it's a P source right now here, right? So let's deactivate the P source here. So we do this, and then we have a P source here. We have multiple P sources. Okay. So forget about this one. This one here, create days. It's just creating records because it's just creating empty days without dates. So we don't care about those, right? You remember when I said if something is not happening, don't let it happen. So if the list here is empty, and you create and you press create, okay, don't do it. So here I have a P source here, right? So I'm separating this in 2 sections, right? So the first, I'm validating this, right? I'm validating this list. Then I'm going back and I'm deleting this because I don't want to keep that. I don't need it. This is temporary. This is temporary. This is just a table. When you're done, you clean up the kitchen. Okay. I know everybody's not doing it, but I'm pretty much. I'm this guy, coming and cleaning up the kitchen after the people. I'm this piece of here. So you do your stuff. You put the stuff down. You do the mess on the kitchen, and then you have somebody coming and cleaning the mess for you. So that's what it's doing. So we are going to focusing on this one, the 35. Okay. So I'm going to open this. And I'm going to deactivate the pieces. Okay. So what this script doing? So remember, I have 5 days here, and I'm saying I want to replace the 4, and it will create a shift. I know that's interesting you because it's a case scenario it's not easy to comply. So here I have a parameter. So yes, I'm using a set variable to use parameter. Why? Why just not putting the variable, the parameter in the script? Because when here I'm in I'm in the context here. I am in the T123 context, and that is coming. All of those is coming in the T123 context. Okay. If I do the perform script on server, everything okay. I can just copy this and put in the parameter. But when I debug, it's no longer working. Why? Because I'm creating a new window. I'm leaving the context before I launch the scripts. So if the parameters are evaluated here, I'm no longer in 123, I'm in 124. So the parameter we failed. So to avoid this, I'm creating a param local variable before everything, and then I can debug my stuff. Okay, so I think that was important to know. So let's create a new window. So now I'm not in the same context anymore, but my parameter was already there in the variable. So I can create all of those. Right. So this, forget about this. This is for the calendaring. That for another. Okay. So, okay. I have this flag replace. Okay. What the flag replace? It's if this has been checked. I need to know it's a global. So it's a global field. So because it's a global field, on server, I won't have the information of this because global are available only on your current session. Going to the server is like another guy opening a session in another computer and doing something. So you need to inform. I need to get the information of this. So that means that yes, I need to do that. So if I have the flag, okay, if I have the flag, what do? I do a perform find, okay, on the one that I have. This is my for empty. How I know that? Okay, how I know that? Because I have a tag that tells me if they are active or not. Haha. Active means there's a date. Inactive. So I have both actually. I have the tag that tells me it's not active, and I have the tag saying me is active, because sometimes it's easier to say, so I have both cases, right? I'm saying, can you still see my screen? Ole? Marge?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So if I put a date here, where's the date? If I put the date somewhere, where's the date? Okay, here. I put the date here. Look what happened here. I put the today date. Boom. So now that is active because I have a date. If I don't have dates, this is inactive. So thanks to my Boolean, thanks to my tag that says if it's empty, the dates, put one. If it's not empty, the date, put one. Okay, that's easy to do that. All the tags, see, tag, 1 0, 1 0, 1 0, 1 0, right? So it's easy. I have a perform find one. If I do, that's super easy. Now, right? I'm looking for this, right? And here where the magic lands. So I'm selecting this. I go to the first, and then I start. Okay. So I'm saying I have two counters here. This is a little bit complicated to explain, but I will try later. So I'm selecting my date, right? I'm selecting my date. And if I have this coming up, look the reasoning, because here, that's why I want to show you this. Here, it's pure reasoning, human, technical, good sense reasoning. Nothing to do with FileMaker, absolutely nothing. If you have the good reasoning, or if you don't have the good reasoning, it's that simple. It's nothing to do with FileMaker. I am in the loop, right? So the first one, do I have a previous error? What the previous error? It's that if I go to the next record here, right? If I go to the next record, that means it's the end of this. So let's do it. He continued. He said, no, I don't have. So I'm setting the field. I'm setting the field. Time zone. Okay, that folder. And I'm going to the next record. Okay, so go to the next record. Do I have an error here? No, I don't have an error. So he continue. He go to the loop 2. Here, I don't need to set this. So I'm doing this. So I'm doing this until, and look what happened. So remember, now I said, go to next record here, right? So I was talking, so I don't know if that, so He said no. Now, look carefully. Look here. Look here. I am at the last record. That means I have the 4 created. Now, my step will say, go to the next record. And then I have an error. That means I reached the last record of my 4. But I have 5. Value count will say 5. Value count says 5. And my counter says 4. So I still have 1 to go. My script says, go to the next record. It says, no, I cannot do it. So I have an error here. No problems. On the next loop, that was at the end of the last loop. On the next loop, I say, whoa, okay, look, you have an error here. You had an error on the previous loop. You had an error, right? And you need to create a record. So here I'm creating my 5th record. I'm creating it. So the first 4, I say, no, next. I'm good. No creation. But when I arrive at the last one, and if I still have 1 to go, right? So that is only, as you can see, is only to create the records. Right? I'm closing. Okay, so I'm deleting this path, go, right? And now closing the window, doing this and this and this. So I have a problem here because it didn't put any dates, but I think it's because it was not on pesos. So I don't want to. Let's put back the pesos and it will do the job. But you got the point here. The point was, let's add an A here, and I'm going to add the pesos here. The point was that you want the reasoning. You want the reasoning. So let's say I have all those days, and I want to replace the 5 days. I go there, it will do the job. On pesos, it works. Bam. So once again, what is the reasoning? 3593B. What was the reasoning? The reasoning was, right? The reasoning was that if I have an error, right? If I have an error, the first loop happened. The first loop happened, never have an error here, okay? So it will never create the records. So it will go first, second, okay. It will run through, go to next record. When the go next record has an error, that means I reached the last. The next loop, we say, okay, by the way, on the previous loop, you had an error. So that means you reached the last. So that means now on, you need to create a record. That's all. Can you imagine if you don't use that reasoning? The mess to do this. I'll let you just imagine, the mess to create something like this, okay? Without using that simple freaking reasoning that is not at all altering. Is first of all, a 5-year-old child is capable of understanding it. Not only this, but I mean, technically what I'm using, if global variable, new record, and go to next record, right? Up. I mean, more simple than this, I cannot do. What the good common sense is how and when to do that. Go to the next, that's an error, take it, create, right? So, do we have questions? I'm perfect on my timing today.
You are.
Yeah.
On the dot. We do have questions though. So okay. Let me find the first one. Are tables are related with create from related table checkbox?
No, I've never used that technique. Very, very few. No, I have a P source that creates a new record. For create. Oh, you mean by this one? No. Here I have a P source that goes to the table and new. So I have a P source doing this. I'm not using set the last. This is piece of blip. Set the last row of this. No, I'm not using the. I'm not using the whether it's 1, 2, 3 x. See, is 1, 2. This relationship here is 1, 2, 3 x. T 1, 2, 3 x. So it's this one here, right? So so here, nothing here. This for this. That's it. No, I'm not. I never. It's very few rare case I'm using this allow thing when it makes sense, but here it doesn't. The script, the pieces goes. I have a loop, create record, pump, 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 and then that's it, right? So it's. I just demonstrated it. So, do we have another one?
Yes. How do you? Hold on. I'm going to ask that one later, Dimok. Could you place the if statement after the loop?
No. This one?
Mm-hmm.
No.
I think.
No, it needs to be in the loop because I need to know that because the previous loop was an error, and I need to create a new record. So the new record needs to happen here. If it happened you create one record. No, it needs to be there. I mean, I'm doing it. When I do there, that means if I have an error after that, so I'm collecting the error. Here, I'm collecting the error of this. So if this returns an error, I'm collecting it. This is what is done. I get there, I do this, it said 4.1, that means nothing. Here, I'm collecting the error, And here, I said, if there's something here, if I have an error, create a record. Because if I have an error, go to the next record, that means I reach the last one of the current one. So that means if I have 4 current records, and I have a time frame of 8 days, it will replace the 4, right? It will update the 4, update the 4, and then create the 4 that is not there. Why? Is because when you reach the 4, he said, pop up, error. Okay, so the next loop, I know I have an error here, create one.
David, kind of a follow-up question. So with exit last record on, then place the if statement after the loop.
Because if that's the case, what you want to put outside the loop, I want that to happen each time you have a loop. I have a loop. Yeah.
Yeah. So David, why would you like to relocate the if statement?
Yeah, because I want that to happen in the loop one. This go through no error. That means a record is existing. So just set the field. I go the second one. The record is there, so it's okay. This doesn't fail. Okay, go to the next one. The third one, it works. Go to the fourth one. The fourth one up. Go to the next record on the fourth one. I cannot because I reached the last one. So I cannot go to the next one. I don't have it. So I have an error. So the next loop, I do my stuff. And then I say, oh, by the way, on the previous loop, I have an error. So if that means, oh, you have an error there. Okay, that means you need to create a new record because that means, I still have stuff to go. You have 4, I have 6. So when you reach the 4th, I need 2 more, So the previous one says, oh, by the way, I reached the last. You need to create one in the next loop. Create one in the next loop. Okay, next loop drop. Oh, by the way, in the previous loop, remember you had an error. Okay, I know what to do. Create a new record. So if you move this out, I don't know how that can be work. It will do the loop. It will update the same record. It will update the record. When you go there, it will go to the next. It will fail. So at the end, it will update the last one. It will be stuck on the last one. It will never do. Here, doing this, it will say, okay, I go there. Oh, I know. I'm stuck on the last one, but I'm creating a new one. And then oh, by the way, that's the last one because you just created, but I'm going there another time and I create a new one. Okay, never mind. So it's a concept, not too complicated, but it's
David says he got it.
Okay. Finally. No, it's very simple. It's why it's complicated to get? Because it's simple. That's all. Simplicity is always complicated. Always. Complication is no. It's the simplicity is, and to get there, right? I got up at 3 a.m. in the morning and said, got it. And I woke up and I did it, and I go back to bed because I was happy. So it's because it works. So because otherwise, let me know how you do that without a super complicated, without this, it's super complicated. This technique here, oh God, if you get it, you're going to use it every single day of your life. No, it's true. It's true. No, it's true. And using the table. So the concept here was to resume those 3 days. First, you need the support. You need to get out of here. You need to put down everything on the counter. Then you use this, and every time you manipulate data, you need to manipulate this on variable or stuff like that. Manipulate that, but not record. Manipulate values, not record. When you get your list of value, you put down in a temporary table with fields, and then you can ask Draco, you can ask the engine to do stuff for you. And now you have records. Okay, oh, by the way, do I have a record there? Is that existing? Is that existing? Yes. Okay, no, if it's existing, put me something like italic, something red, right? I don't want to go there. So you do the stuff, and then the user can click and click, and when you're done, you have a new list out of this list of values, from this list of records, you get a new list of values, and from that list of values, you have another script, another pieces that go and say, okay, by the way, this is the last final draw of the list of dates you need to create for me. And by the way, I want to replace the existing one. So use the next technique with the previous loop error catching, and then voila, 3 days to get there on time.
Yes. Thank you very much, Nick. This has been fantastic. I think that's the last of our questions. Much appreciated.
Kyle said, because I have a notification on this here, you can say, I think understanding the power of Boolean value is one of the most important things all new developers should. Yeah, I agree 2,000,000,000% on this. You need to understand this. That's a great advice. You need to understand the Boolean. If you don't understand the Boolean, it's like you shoot yourself, because you need to pretty much little by little, you need to understand the concept of list of value, the concept of Boolean, because they are in concert. You need to learn how to use smartly the relationships, and thanks to the multiple demo we do, you can learn now and say, oh, Nick's use that technique for this. Use that technique for that. I have a good friend of mine. Last week he showed me his file. Okay, he's working for a year on this file, and he said, "Okay, look, I'm going to show you this, but don't be afraid." I said, "Why?" It's because you will think you built it, and don't be afraid. You're not some number. You're not doing this in your sleep. I built it. You didn't, but you will feel you did. So he showed me the thing and said, okay, this is incredible. The guy is copying pixel by pixel everything I do. The name is copying, even the spelling mistake I make is reproducing it. Every single technique we use, the pieces, the tag, the Boolean, everything. And he said, look, my stuff, I'm blowing up the mind of everybody with my stuff, because I do things that I say, wow. So it's that the best reward we can have. And really, the guys copy paste pixel by pixel everything I do, and so I encourage you to do the same, because obviously it can help you a lot, because those things are, look for other webinar. You will see you won't have anything close to this. But I'm happy, developer hate my guts, right? They hate my guts because you say, oh yeah, you're spitting the beans, and say, yeah, but I'm reinventing myself every day, so I don't need to keep my bin.
No, seriously, Nick, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you here with us and to explain all this stuff.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
And we are very excited to resume our stuff with you next week, actually next Monday. So
yeah, next Monday.
Got a report of an individual up here who may be a FileMaker license. Well, it's potentially expired. Look at the back of that car right there. Looks like the FileMaker license has expired. Sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle. Sir, step out of the vehicle. Sir!